Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Ina and today we are going to talk a little bit about insulators and conductors. So if you remember from last week's video on properties of matter and states of matter, you'll remember that the atoms change characteristics depending on which state of matter they're in. So another thing that atoms can determine is how good of an insulator or how good of a conductor a material is. So an insulator is any material that doesn't allow energy, electricity, or heat through it. So if you have a thermos or like a hydro flask, the insulator is the water bottle, and it keeps your drink cold or it keeps it hot. So it prevents the heat from leaving the bottle, or it prevents the heat from going inside the bottle. And a conductor is something that lets energy or electricity through easily. So let's say metals and wire, because if I poured hot water into a metal cup, it'll be really hot. But that's why when you go to restaurants or any takeout place, the cups that they give you are always styrofoam, because styrofoam is an example of a good insulator. So we are going to make something called Starlite Material, and that is we're going to use glue, we're going to use cornstarch, and it's going to be a super good insulator, so it doesn't let heat through. And we're going to see what happens if I try to cook an egg on something that is a good insulator versus something that's a good conductor. Alright, so to make Starlite Material, we're going to need some ingredients. We're going to need baking soda, cornstarch, which is what I have in here, a bowl, a spoon, some glue, any Elmer's glue, and a piece of aluminum foil. So first we're going to add 10 teaspoons of cornstarch into our bowl. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm just going to measure out a teaspoon. And then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of glue. So I'm going to do that really quick and come back. So I have all 3 ingredients in here in this bowl, and I'm just going to mix it together until it forms kind of like a slimish, Play-Doh-ish consistency. Okay, so I've mixed everything together, and I have this kind of like sticky paste, and I'm going to take my aluminum foil and I'm going to spread it out in a little square in the middle so that we can use it for our test that we're going to do in just a little bit. So I'm spreading it out, and I just need it to be flat in an area that I can use to put a flame under. And we're going to see how well this insulates heat. So I have spread out the Starlite Material, and I kind of folded up the aluminum foil so I have a little boat. And I also have another aluminum foil square that is just foil, so there's nothing inside. And we're going to put some egg on top of both of these, and we're going to put a flame underneath, and we're going to see how well this Starlite Material insulates the heat and how well this conducts the heat. So I've put egg yolk on both of the regular aluminum foil as well as the Starlite Material, and there's no egg white. I know it looks like it because the material is white, but there's only egg yolk on both of the boats. Alright, so I have a candle, and first we're going to do just the foil, and I'm going to place it on top of the flame, and we're going to see if it cooks. So it's actually been about 3 minutes, but here we have the egg yolk that's been on top of the flame, and it is hot, so I'm using tongs, but you can see that it's cooked, it's hard, the egg yolk is completely solid from the heat. So next, we're going to take the aluminum foil with the Starlite Material on top and the egg yolk, and I'm going to leave it on here for the same amount of time, so 3 minutes, and then we're going to come back and see if this time the egg will cook or not. Okay, so it's been another 3 minutes, and we can see that this time the egg yolk is still runny. I can run my toothpick through it, and it's a liquid, and we can conclude that heat did not pass through the Starlite because it's still a liquid, and the egg yolk did not cook, which means that the Starlite Material is indeed an insulator because the heat did not pass through like it did with the foil earlier. Alright, so we've made the Starlite Material, and we did a couple tests with eggs, and we also did a test with aluminum foil. And we can say that the Starlite Material was a good insulator because it didn't let heat through and it didn't cook the egg. And we can also say that aluminum foil is a good conductor because it did let heat through and the egg was able to cook. And so what is the difference between foil and the starlight and what's the difference with making it an insulator versus a conductor. Well, the atoms in the insulator, so something that does not let heat through, have really strong bonds with each other, and so they don't really like to move around easily. And without the atoms moving around, the heat energy coming from anywhere is not able to pass through because the atoms are not able to gain heat energy. But the atoms in our aluminum foil, our conductor, are able to move around more, and so they're able to pass along the heat energy to the atoms around it, and this allows heat to travel through the material and cook your egg. So if you want to make the Starlite material at home and try out the experiments, you can find the directions and materials down below, but make sure you do it with a parent or someone that you trust so that you can stay safe, because fire can be dangerous and you don't want anything to catch on fire, okay? Have fun! I'll see you next time.